standards out. All right, mission statement. Mission here is to create the greatest group of professional traders compiled in the world. We work tirelessly every day to improve our individual selves and push each other to get the most out of one another. With each individual's personal accountability, 100% effort, and consistent action towards focusing on our controllables, we will each reach our full potential individually and as a family. I, Stephanos, pledge to be the best version of myself today, to do whatever it takes to be the greatest trader that I can be, and to be the most self-disciplined person that I know. I will do the things I have to do today, regardless of how I feel, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. I will control what I can control and not worry about anything else. Reminders: we do not overtrade, we do not over-risk. You don't need to catch a trade today. Focus on 1 to 2 trade ideas per day. 3 if you see a perfect setup. So a day like today with a lot of volume, you may be able to get 3 different setups. But again, you're just focusing on getting your percentage and pretty much getting out of the market. But capital preservation over capital appreciation, aka risk management number 1. Keep your trading plan in front of you. Read through it really quick. Takes 2 seconds before you end up trading today. Make smart decisions. Stack smart decisions. Trade what you see, not what you think. Right? Wait for what you want to see here. We are system oriented. Now, how much money can I make on this one given trade? Think longevity. Think efficiency. Think long term. We aren't here just to make as much as we can this week. We're here to learn, and we're here to become better traders over the course of the week and over the course of our lives. Have a sense of urgency today, right? Finish those daily musts as quickly as you can. Eliminate excuses and any victim mindset. Full accountability for your actions. You have full control over where you end up going in the next 2-3 months, right? All your actions determine that. So looking at the economic calendar today, now we're going to start to kick off a lot of volume, right? Today's CPI, we're going to go over CPI in a second on the charts, but CPI is going to be a big telltale sign for the Fed if they're going to stay hawkish or dovish, right? If we get a really bad CPI where everything's all over the place, you're going to see gold fall, you're going to see the US 30 fall because the dollar is going to rise, anticipating the Fed to increase rates even more than 25 basis points in May, right? But if we see a better than expected CPI, headline CPI, and also core CPI, you're going to start to see gold possibly skyrocket through 2,100, 2,200 through previous COVID highs and Russian-Ukraine highs as well that was created later last year, right? So, or earlier last year. So if that's the case, we'll see what we end up getting, but you may have some nice opportunities on gold today if we have a surprise in either direction. But we also have Bailey speaking at 9 a.m. You have Bank of Canada in, talking about their interest rate. They're not going to be. It's not expected that they increase rates right now. They're going to keep it at 4.5. But you also have their press conference. Day 1 of the G20 meetings. We'll see what's going on over there. There's a lot of tensions in the world right now between Russia, Ukraine, but also Russia, China, all these Eastern countries with the U.S. right now. So there's a lot of tensions. We'll see what they're talking about during here. You also have FOMC meeting minutes today at 2 p.m. Usually we get a nice little move from that. Bailey speaking again, probably during the let me see where he's speaking for this. Do speaking financial and price stability, International Monetary Fund spring meetings. Looking at later in the day, tonight we're going to get employment data coming out of Australia, and that pretty much wraps up the day over here with high, volume impact news coming out. So again, the main focus is going to be US CPI coming out today, and then also if you guys trade any CAD pairs, I don't think any of you guys do that are in here right now. That could shake the market as well if they end up increasing rates or maybe even lowering rates, which I doubt is going to happen. All right, so that's the economic calendar over here. We're going to go over to GJ, start this out. Now, looking at GJ, again, the monthly candle is very bullish. Really hasn't changed much since yesterday. Is passing the high of the previous candles. As we know, since COVID, GJ has been very bullish. Failing to break previous highs at a moment, that's where you're getting these pullbacks. Also, this is from fundamentals of not increasing rates, and then they finally did increase rates in December of 2021. But then again, just increasing rates, and also the Japanese yen or the Bank of Japan not increasing their rates as well is what's going to cause this to continue up, we have these pullbacks, these short-term pullbacks from the banking crisis, which we'll be able to see on the weekly here. Right, we have these short-term pullbacks being priced in with the banking crisis coming all the way back down to this previous support over here. But then again, with a very hawkish Bank of England, this thing is going to continue right back up, especially with a very dovish Japanese yen. So it's just creating higher lows, higher highs right now, especially to start the month of April. And right now we're heading we're sitting right around like 165 right now. Or 166. We're heading right for 168. We could be getting pullbacks, right, anywhere into these areas, but at the same time, we are going to be heading right back up for 168. It looks like, fundamentally at least, unless we get some huge shakeup in the market when it comes to any kind of tensions in the world with the Eastern countries and the Western world. So again, just you're seeing, like, obviously this bullish price action. We came right back down into this area over here, never tapped into the previous lows from the start of the year over here, but the banking crisis came all the way back down into this area, and then ever since then we've been pretty bullish here. So I'm just going to draw a little trend line here, taking a look at what's going on. It looks like we're getting a little exhausted with the current daily candle, right? We're tapping into a previous area here to the left, and right now this candle is flipping bearish. I don't think this is going to be a complete turnaround of GJ, but again, it could be pulling back into any of these areas, 165, before continuing up. Let's take a look at the 4-hour to see where we could be pulling back into. This was that previous zone over here. That price held that higher low, grabbed liquidity, kind of like had like a little order block right here, and then we pushed up into 166,500. Right, so for some reason we are rejecting 166,500 right now and pulling back. Again, whenever you have like some overextended moves like this, right over here. This is, I think I was talking to Carlos or Gary, I forget who it was yesterday, but whenever you see a bunch of candles, I think it was Carlos. I actually if you take a look at the group Trello, that's what it was. I was talking to you about what to look for when it comes to pullbacks on that trade that you posted in the group Trello. Great job, by the way, putting that in there. I was able to reply to you and tag you in there. But that's what I was talking about with these pullbacks here, right? You get strong bullish candle closes, right? But at some point, they're due for a pullback. And you got to ask yourself, what are banks thinking? Are they looking to trap people up here and bring price right back down? Absolutely. There's a lot of buyers taking profit up here, and this thing is due for a pullback. But it could pull back anywhere into here. Previous resistance right over here. Grab liquidity and then continue right back up. We could pull back into this area over here and then continue right back up. That'll be a key area. Previous resistance, previous support over here as well, and meeting up with that trend line, which we can maybe bring this in just a little bit right there. So there's multiple points where price could be pushing up from here. I don't think we're in any kind of sell market or bearish market until we start to break below this area. That doesn't mean you can't grab sells from here, right? But you just really want to wait for that retest right there. Remember, Tiffany, we were going over that yesterday. That's what you want to wait for if you want to take any kind of sells on GJ right now, at least on the higher time frames. We'll see what the lower time frames give us. Looking at the 1 hour now. 1 hour, again, we're pushing into this previous support area, right? Previous resistance. You could just kind of move that over here. We'll actually take a look to the left to see what we got going on in that area. Yeah, we've had a couple rejections of that area in the past. Okay. So again, you're starting to see at least one little rejection right over here as that candle starting to pull back from this area. Are we going to hold this support over here, create that higher low after we created a new higher high, and then retest that high right there? That's what I would be looking for. I'd be looking for some price action like this, a nice strong bullish candle close here in the 1 hour or the 30-minute, and then we could possibly take this thing up, especially if we get low inflation. out of the US. Again, right over here, you're starting to see that rejection. Hopefully you guys didn't take any sells. Although I could see possible sells from this area after this candle closed bearish, right? You got that liquidity grab and it closed a strong bearish below that area. Wait for that top wick to form, pass below the previous. But to see if that would be valid, we just got to see what the range would be from here to here. It's only about 17 pips. And that's the reason why I wouldn't take something like that, right? I'm looking for around like 20 to 25 pips at least on GJ here. So that I could, and I know for a fact I'll catch 10 to 15. Right, but right over here, this is just a pullback. You're playing the pullbacks before price holds support and then continues right back up here. If we do break below this support here, we break below that area again, I would want to see this area holding a resistance at least with a strong top wick and price passing the low of the previous candle before continuing down, because we know the range is big enough, right? But you are sitting in this range, and right, like I said, there's no legit sells. I could actually move this right over here. I wouldn't say there's any legit sells until we start to break 165, 200, right below this area. Got a nice, beautiful move coming down into this area right here. Got about 56 pips here. I'd say that's a green zone for you. This would be more of a, did I mean to set that alert? This would be more of like a caution zone to be selling into, right? But this zone that we're currently in right now, you could certainly be taking buys in because it's big enough and it's following the structure for price to continue right back up. 73 pips right there. Got about 46 right there, 47, and then 55, 56 below that. And this could very well continue down into this area as well. But as you're starting to see, that's again just counter trend, understanding that we do have a possible secondary bias. But right now, it does look like we're rejecting this area. And I would not be selling until we get that strong bearish close below, top wick form, break the low, and continue right back down. Make sense? First bias is this. All right, you may want to wait for like a close above this area right here for safer buys. I'm not going to say the candle is going to look exactly like this, but if you get a strong candle closing above 166 over here, psychological level, I could definitely see this thing continuing right back up here into this area right there, especially after we're rejecting with that candle the way it is. Makes sense, guys. Any questions? Those are all clear. Any discussions that you guys want to go over?
That makes sense. But I wanted to comment on the Trello. Yeah, I seen it. I need to go over it.
Okay. Yeah, it's Lim actually does a great job sending his trades into the group Trello. I just went through I think like 11 yesterday of just like writing a paragraph to him about each trade that he went through. And you guys, the purpose of the group Trello is everyone could see each other's trades. So you guys could go back and look through what he was doing and what I was saying about it. You're going to get a ton from that too, even though you guys didn't take those trades. You'll see, what I was thinking, what he was thinking, and how he can improve from each one of those trades. And it may only take you 5-10 minutes to go through that. All right. But one thing that's very valuable for you guys to do too is to go through my actual journal here, and not only this one, but the categorized trades journal, because this is all my updated thoughts on each one of these trades. And you got, I think, like 200 trades in just good wins alone right over here. So if I copy this, let me see something. Copy this into good got 190 in good wins right here. 190 in good wins. Bad wins, you only got about 4. Actually, no, that's wrong. There's definitely more than 4. But good losses, you got 23. There's definitely way more than that. I don't know why that's Yeah, there's way more than 4 in bad wins, but you guys get the point. I think I've got about 1,000 trades in here that you guys could go through and then look through this later analysis. The last time I looked at this one was in August of 2022. You guys could read what I was thinking about this one. And I'm almost done with this year's, doing all the group Trellos over here. Not group Trellos, but going through all my trades over here. Almost done with all of these. Once I'm done with all these, I'm going to go back through the categorized journals, through good wins, and possibly categorize these another way. Maybe through setups. I don't know. We'll see what I end up doing with these, but you guys can look through all these if you like. Maybe go through 10 a day if you don't have any of your own that you guys could be looking through. If you only don't have that many self journal trades, that's something that you guys could do to get better. And you can learn from my wins, losses, whatever. All right, so 30-minute over here. It is 7:30. Just closed a weak bearish candle close with a body, weak body, but with that wick to fill potentially, right? But again, I'm not trying to counter trend trade into this range. Only counter trend trade I'm trying to take is if we retest that area and continue down. This would be even better, and obviously this would be even smarter, because then you're actually really in a bearish trend. Even in here, these are the pullbacks. Even in a bullish trend over here, sometimes you could take advantage of these. I always talk about this is one of those trades that you could possibly take advantage of with 46 pips before price bounces off this key area and continues up. All right, so that is GJ. Let's go over to gold. Taking a look at the monthly again, we're sitting right above that 2,000 level. I have that thing marked off as a horizontal line. 2,000 is a very critical level. I have around like 2040 marked off. You'll see it on the weekly and the daily why I have that marked off there. But right now, it looks like we are, again, on the monthly, we're sitting right around like halfway through the month. We've already created a nice bottom wick, past the high of the previous candle, created that high, and now we're starting to retrace a little bit. We're sitting right around 2009 right now, right? So sitting right over there, are we going to close above 2,000 and continue up? This is what I was talking about with the economic calendar, that if we get very weak CPI over here, right, what are you going to see happen to the dollar? US dollar is going to continue right back down, right? And gold's going to continue up. US 30 is going to continue up. That's going to be great for the trade I'm in right now. And you're going to see gold break through 2,000, maybe 2,100, maybe 2075, which is those all-time highs. We can actually mark that off right now. 2075, those all-time highs from COVID and the Russian-Ukraine conflict, the start of it at least. And you can see this thing breaking right through. I could very well see that with a weaker dollar. But if we get higher inflation, right, kind of like what we got in February, if we get higher inflation, then this thing is going to continue right back down. We're going to hold that resistance, and you're going to see not something as drastic as these moves right over here, but you are going to see a heavy retracement coming back down below 2,000 at least. And you may be able to get some sells going in gold, playing the sells. Looking at the weekly now. The weekly looks primed right now to continue bullish right here, right? Previous week ended up grabbing liquidity, creating that higher low, passing the high of the previous candle right here, creating that new high around like 2032, right? And then retracing, but closing a very strong body here, right? Current weekly candle already created a very healthy bottom wick and is now flipping bullish, right? It looks like it's just waiting to break through 2040 and 2075 to continue right back up, right? So that's what we're kind of getting ready for right now. You don't want to trade the actual news, just trade the reaction to the news, and we should be able to get a nice move if we get a big surprise there. Here's the higher low that we had over here. Keep that going. Excuse me. So again, we ended up breaking through 1950 over here, that previous high that we formed in January, right? And then we get this pullback, get the double bottom formed over here, right? And then we end up taking off from there, creating this new high. We pull back, retest that high so far, kind of, but then pull back. And again, we're holding this support multiple times here. You're getting a lot of demand from this area. And then you ended up getting this liquidity grab and a strong body close. This candle pushed right through that area to continue up and create that high. So now what we're starting to get is another pullback into this area, holding support, strong bullish candle close. Candle has a very small bottom wick past the high of the previous candle and now tapped into 2020, right? Tapped into 2020. Now we're starting to retrace a little bit, right? So are we just kind of holding a higher low somewhere in here to wait for a weaker CPI to continue this thing up, right? Or are we going to reject this area here on the daily? Is that going to be like a double top over here with strong CPI, strong inflation, and this thing continues right back down? And then that's like this is the highest it goes for a while. And again, not to mention, every single time we tap into 2000, this could very well happen too. Like I said, the weekly is primed to continue right back up with weaker inflation. But what has happened the last time that we've tapped into this whole area? We've gotten a heavy rejection, right? Very hard for gold to break through 2075 right now, right? But if we keep getting weaker inflation and a weaker Fed or a more dovish Fed, this thing's going to continue right back up, especially with the tensions going on between all these countries right now. World War III, like on the brink of happening. Looking at the 4 hour now, we just ended up getting a strong 4 hour close, but no bottom wick. All right, we're holding this support over here. I think that we did yesterday. This was yesterday, or no, Monday. Monday held this higher low over here. After creating this high, we pulled back into this area, get this doji candle close right there, right? And ever since then, we held support and just continued up slowly yesterday and this morning. Last night, there was actually a nice little move over here. Nice breakout. You didn't get the close above that resistance, but like I said, I could see, like, if you're creating a new high over here, right, you get that volume around 9 p.m., which typically is when that volume pumps in during Asian, if it does. This would have been a nice candle to take, right? But for some reason, we are rejecting 2020 right now with that strong bearish close. But the hint, though, is that, let's see if we got any trends that we could draw here. Obviously, since 1615, in creating higher lows and higher highs, just kind of putting up. Obviously, a lot of the rate hikes have been hiked in or priced in right now. And now within that trend, you also have this bullish move going up, creating these higher lows and higher highs as well, right? So right now, like I said, as we're creating these higher lows here, right, and breaking through 2000 once again, kind of faked it out over here, right? Now we close above, creating this high. Now this candle did close a strong body, but no bottom wick right here, right? So we could very well be holding some kind of a support right in this area. Could be holding this support right in this area right here and continuing right back up to retest that high and continue up from there, right? But for some reason, this looks like we're starting to reject this whole area with that lower high that was just formed right here, right? The fact that that happened tells me that there could be a possibility that price continues right back down. I wouldn't take any sells until down here. So after the news comes out, or the data comes out, and we get that higher inflation, I could see this thing continuing right back down below here. And this will be the reaction to the news that you guys could take later on today, especially with the stock market open and FOMC meeting minutes is happening later at 2 p.m. today as well. All right, so just keep that in mind. But so far, my main bias is bullish. Looks like we held the support technically when you got this bearish candle close right there, get that bullish candle close right there. That was your first hint that we could be holding a support right in this area, right? Anytime we follow a bearish candle with a bullish candle, that's a support being held. But then we follow with a bearish candle, which formed this resistance right here, right? So what I want to see is are we going to be able to hold this support right here and kind of engulf these candles and close above with a strong bullish candle right there? If so, you got a clean move coming right up into this area, right into 2020 to continue this thing up. Again, you could draw like a little bullish trend within the trend right here if you'd like. And you'll see that we could very well be retesting that high. I'm not going to keep that there though. See the 30-minute again holding support. You're starting to see this bearish structure starting to exhaust over here, especially in the bullish trend. Like I said, if we could close above this area, I could see bulls and buys right above this area right here to continue this thing up for about like 95 pips. This obviously will be no trade range. I'm not touching that. This will be, let's see. Anything in here as far as sells, just because of the price action, I'm not a big fan of. So I would just kind of make this a an orange zone right there, because you're still, it's still in a buying formation. You're still in a bullish formation. Got about 182 pips in there. You just got to make sure that like whatever you see right here, if you want to sell from here, is a clean enough move to drive price right back down from here, right? Like you got a clean break and retest or something like that before you take sells in here. But like I said, I can see it. It's just like you want to be wary of trading within here. You're not in a bearish structure until you start to break 1987. And again, with strong inflation, I could definitely see that happening, because you're going to start to see the dollar, at least in the short term, get a nice bullish push up. But hopefully for our sakes in the US, inflation is low. The goal in the Fed, all they've been talking about is getting inflation down to 2%, right? That's their main goal. They don't care what happens to the economy, it seems like. All they want to do is bring inflation down. So the quicker we could get to that point, the better our economy is going to be. We don't have to worry so much about inflation, and we can start helping out banks or institutions or anything that needs to be helped, especially people with their job sectors and all that stuff. Any questions on gold? Definitely see, obviously, if we break through 2020, we're going to be breaking right up to 2032, retesting this high right up top here. Let's see, why do I have this marked off? I have it marked off right there for some reason. Bring that down right over there. I just had to adjust that based on the higher time frame. So yeah, there we go. And just keep that right there. That's our most recent resistance. Starting to see, if you look at the 1 hour right now, that was a strong bearish candle close with a wick to fill. This candle is now flipping bearish right over here. But again, I don't think I want to be selling in this area before CPI. CPI is the main event, the main economic data point coming out this week, I would say, besides retail sales and whatever's coming out later in the week, but in PPI as well. But right now, you're sitting around like, I don't know, 45 minutes before the news comes out. I wouldn't want to be selling into this resistance right now. I'm just going to sit back, watch this thing play out. I'm ultimately bullish on gold anyway. So why would I be doing that? If this was the other way around, if we were in a bearish market right now, I can explore maybe taking this sell over here to continue down. But you just got to know when to trade what, if that makes sense. It should make sense. That's a big key skill set as a trader is just knowing what to trade and when. It's another great area that you could be trading in. Any questions on gold? This. This is interesting now that I'm looking at this too. Again, this is why we always go back up to the higher time frames after breaking down the lower time frames. But the fact that gold is really rejecting this area here on the daily. Candle barely has a bottom wick. We tap into this area over here, and price is now retracing. Is the market kind of either just taking profit right up here, or is it starting to price in bad inflation here? Right? Are we starting to price in that we're going to have higher than expected inflation? And this candle did close a strong 4-hour close right here, right? Just no bottom wick. But now, even though you got no bottom wick, you get the top wick forming, passing below the previous candle to possibly continue down. But like I said, you're counter trend trading at that point. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate for myself. Because if you could do that, you're no longer marrying any of your moves. Like I said, if we were in a bullish trend right over here, or in a bearish trend, ultimately, I think this would possibly be nice sells to continue this thing down. But I'm not going to do that right now. If you take a look at the 15-minute, which just closed, it did close a strong bearish close, but it did close above that support right there. I guess you're just going to adjust that right there. We did close above. If we close below, that's something to maybe think about. But right now, it's why these all move over? Yeah, safe buys above this area. Morning, Tiffany. How you doing? Tiffany, you there? All right. Carlos, that all make sense to you?
Yes, sir. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Any luck with Trader's Domain right now?
Nah, man. Honestly, no. Like,
I mean, I'm naturally like an optimistic person, and I keep going on their website to see what's going on, and it does look like they're trying to migrate everything over. But you know, there's also that negativity in my mind that maybe this doesn't happen.
yeah, I just been seeing people complain about their withdrawals.
Where are you seeing that?
I seen it on like I looked up a video on YouTube
Okay.
and also like I guess the comment section under the Traders Domains Instagram.
Okay.
But yeah, I just switched over to Dominion markets for now.
Oh, okay, good. Let's see. I want to just look at that thing.
Were you able to get your funds out there or stuff or what?
What's up?
Were you able to withdraw from Traders Domain?
Would I have withdrawals?
No, were you able to withdraw
No,
your funds?
no. My account disappeared.
Really?
Yeah,
Shit.
and it sucks because like I was talking to Kerwin about this the other day. Like, you know, we've been close with Ted. The fucked up part is like he's in a group chat with Ted and everything, and Ted never like warned them to take funds out or anything like that. And you've always heard me; I've always been a big advocate for Traders Domain.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
had a problem with them, right? Like I've always been able to withdraw. And all of a sudden, like I think we were talking about it recently, and then right after that, all this started to happen. But like Ted never warned Raquel or I know Jeevan I think had funds in there. Kerwin did. Never told them like, yo, you guys might want to take some funds out right now before all this goes down. Like, no, nothing.
Yeah.
Traders Domain.
So what happened to the funds? They just took it and took
Like
it
I
off?
said, we may want to come down and create a bottle whip.
I was in a trade a few weeks ago when all this went down, and then all of a sudden I went to check on the trade, and I like the Traders Domain, my MT5 just like kind of froze, like, and then over the next couple of days, my trade was closed out. I didn't lose anything on it, but over the next couple of days, it just wouldn't update the markets. Like it wouldn't update what was actually going on gold, GJ, US 30, and all that stuff. It was still like back on Monday when it was really like Friday. You get what I'm saying? Like the price
Yeah,
action.
like the price was stuck.
Yeah. And then I started going into the website. Well, I did this before that, but when I went into the website, my account was not there. Right. So I'm emailing them, but they were actually going back and forth with me, emailing me back. So there was some telling me like the migration was going to happen that week, and they were going through all that, and then all of a sudden it just never happened. And yeah, and now they're not answering my emails. They haven't in the last like week or two, and yeah, that's all my trade history, my account, everything.
That was your main account, right?
That was my main account in Traders Domain.
Fuck, bro.
To me, I mean, I look at it like,
Like an L or what?
what's up?
Are you taking it out as an L or you're like,
Well, yeah, I mean, so
Yeah.
far that's what I have to do. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
like I'm very pissed about it. But at the end of the day, it's just money, and I can make that back. Like you
Yeah.
can't take the skill set away from me. Right?
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
always
that's
I can
true.
always go with another broker or something like that. I just take it like a hit of you know um a failed business or something like that, like something that most entrepreneurs go through, and you can't just
Would
take that
you
skill set away.
do you think that like you will withdraw your funds to your bank account next time instead of just keeping it in the broker, or what would you do?
I mean, you got to keep like your main amount in your broker,
Yeah, I know.
like so that you could trade and you have leverage and margin and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So you just got to be with a trusted broker. I've been looking into regulated brokers like Owanda or something like that. I just for something I don't want to trade on TradingView. I don't like the platform of actually trading on it, if that makes sense. Like I actually like placing trades on MetaTrader. I'm so used to it. But like I don't know, have you guys ever played with this?
No, I never played with that.
Paper trading here? Like you could place a trade here. Like if I were to place a sell, let's play around with this for a second. Trade. Market units. Stop loss would have to be 25 pips. I would say like 36. How much is this account? I think I'm up like $840 on this paper account. Let's say we're gonna risk 1,000. Okay. Actually, it's not that bad, No, I don't want to reverse. Now, where's my stop loss? Oh shit. Yeah, see, where's my stop loss here? Did my stop loss go like super high or something? Oh yeah. There we go. Actually, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, it's obviously something that you could get used to. You know?
Yeah, but you don't have the benefit of using magic keys and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I bought Magic Keys, so I can't use that. I don't know. I like the thought process of doing my analysis on TradingView and placing trades on MetaTrader. Maybe
Right.
I'm just I was talking to my wife about this the other day. She feels the same way, but I don't like change, if that makes sense to you guys. Like
Yeah,
Right.
you guys
you're used to it.
Once the
What's up?
candles
You're used to it, so
into 165.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it's can I get used to it? Absolutely. But at the same time, like me naturally as a person, I don't like change in terms of like
That's the most.
time. Like you guys know me with time. Like the thought process of time and how time passes, you just can't get time back. You can't buy it back. All that stuff. It doesn't sit well with me. Like I was driving around my hometown a few weeks ago, and like earlier in the morning, and just looking at the houses. Like I used to walk. Me and my boy used to walk from school every single day, past the same exact houses every single day. And I was driving by through the street, and back then we didn't have cell phones or anything. So, you know, you're like looking around, you're taking the environment in, you're not just sitting there on your phone the whole time. So you're taking the environment and looking at these houses, stuff like that. Now, as I walk by these houses, it's just like the houses are more settled in. You could tell new people live there. The houses are older. It's just it feels so weird to me, at least, and it's just something I don't like at all. It doesn't sit well with me. It's something that gets me, not, I wouldn't say emotional, but I just feel an eerie feeling of everything changing around me, or people I know getting older. I'm getting older, you know, all that stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it doesn't sit well.
No, I hear that. I feel like I got a little bit of that in me.
Right? Like, you know, you ever walk around or drive past through your old town? Do you still live in your old town, Carlos?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so driving through there, and just I'm sure like you used to walk home from school, we all did. Just seeing all these houses, and people that you know used to live there, or friends used to live in the house, they don't live there anymore. Their family dynamic is completely different now, or something like that. Like my boy's house I passed by, you know, I used to be there every single day. Me and my boys used to go there every day. And we used to play football in the park across the street. We used to play basketball in his driveway. Um, and it's just like so weird to me. Pass through.
Why is it weird? Because it looks different or what?
Yeah, it's just, you know, so much time has passed. Years have gone by, and you know, you put yourself in that time, and you're like, things were so simple. Like we used to just go to school.
Yeah.
All we worried about was going out like that night, or you know, on Friday, and getting a handle of alcohol, and drinking, and going out that night. You know, it's just it's so. And like also I passed by my old middle school. They tore down the playground that was over there for some reason. I don't know, it's not there anymore. Me and my boy were catching up the other day. We went to breakfast at a place called the Hungry Hobo. It's a little diner. The same lady works there, but she's so much older now. We sat at the bar, same exact TV that's there. Everything's pretty much the same in there, but it's just like, damn, we used to come in here as kids and just sit at the bar and order breakfast, have coffee before school. And now it's like, now we got jobs. Now we, not jobs, but I have a career with trading and all that stuff. And so many things have gone by. We've already graduated college. Am I depressing you guys?
No.
It's
That's how I
that's
felt too when I left Colombia, bro. And I didn't like I grew up in a super small city in Colombia. It's like I'm talking about like it looks like colonial type of like you if you go to my hometown in Colombia, you'll think like you'll like you're going back in time or something.
wow, that's awesome though. To me, that's
Yeah,
cool.
it's like very like Spaniard, architecture and like super colonial like type of like vibe.
Yeah,
And it's still like that, it's just that, when you like, you can definitely tell that, a lot of things are changing. And like when I first moved out of there, I didn't go back for like 5 years. And when I came back, it was like crazy because you have like flashbacks when you're a kid and like you're like, oh shit, I used to go over here, I used to go over there, and
mm-hmm.
yeah, it's crazy.
Used to play sports here. Used to go play
Mhm.
these basketball courts, and now maybe they're not there anymore. They're just like run down,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, or like this like or my old house where I used to live at, like like the little parks around that area.
Yeah,
So yeah, you can definitely feel it for sure. Cause like I remember whenever it was crazy because I didn't go back for like 5, 6 years. And when I came back, all I what was having was flashback when I was a kid. It was like fucking crazy.
yeah. I'm gonna send you guys a video here, and we're not gonna watch it now, but I think I've sent this to you guys before. I know I sent it to Sammy, and Sammy loves this song now. But it's "Time" by Pink Floyd, and it kind of explains all this and how time goes by, and um, I have this weird fascination with time, I think, and it's just share. Put this in the chat for you guys. But Carla, or not Carlos, Lewis, I was actually when we were down in Florida, I'm just like looking at the coastline of Florida, like over in Boca and everything, and it got me
Mhm.
like fascinated. You know me with history. It just
Mhm.
got me fascinated with like how Florida was the first state that was discovered. Because I was explaining to
Mhm.
my wife that St. Augustine is the oldest city in the
In the
country.
US, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like thinking like you would think it'd be like up in Massachusetts and Boston and the northeast part of the US, but it was really Florida. Because and then I started watching, we were in the apartment and the condo, and we were looking, I looked up a video of like the history of the discovery of the US. And it's cool how like they had no idea what was to the left of like Spain, right, when Columbus came over here. And what they did was they came down, they reached the islands first. They reached like Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Jamaica, all that area right there, and then they went up into Florida, discover Florida and everything. But then they went even more west into Mexico and discover like Colombia and everything. But like the amount of things that happened in a short span of time at that point, because you were just talking about Colombia and how it's so old over there. But like the amount of like wars that they had back in like the 1500s, the amount of diseases that went through there that wiped out a population because they came in with like smallpox and all that stuff. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
So just knowing like your old town in Colombia, like the amount of things that have probably gone on there that you have no idea about. It's interesting.
That's true. Yeah.
Where in Colombia are you?
Yeah, I'll send you a little. It's like yeah, I'm gonna send it in the chat.
See, if you guys are looking at GJ, it's holding that support. This is Colombia, right? Medellin. There you go. My buddy likes to go Bogota.
That's where I was born.
Papayan. Papayan. North or south?
South.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's like an hour away from Cali.
Wow.
It was founded in 1500 or something like that,
Yeah.
1537 or something.
That makes sense. So how far is that from Medellin? Cali. Oh, so that's only an hour away, right here.
Well, about an hour and a half. Yeah, probably an hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, for
Medellin's
Medellin,
all
it's I think Medellin's all the way up north.
Is Colombia like a really corrupt country still?
No,
No.
no, bro. Like back in the early 90s and 80s, yeah, but
Yeah.
no. I
Now
think
it's more stable.
yeah. Like there's no like you don't have to like like if anything, Mexico is kind of like how Colombia used to be in some
Oh, yeah.
areas.
Oh, I bet. I would love to go to Mexico, and there's a couple that we go on vacation with usually, and they refuse to go to Mexico, or at least my boy refuses to go because he thinks he's like I don't want to get killed, and I'm like, dude, it's like
No,
I
bro.
highly doubt. We'll be fine. There's this one place over here that I was looking at. Playa del Carmen. There's an all-inclusive resort, but it's like a grand a night, and it's sick.
In Cancun.
In Cancun. Let me see if I can bring up the video. I sent it to them yesterday. I was like, "You guys still don't want to go to Mexico?" Hotel Xcaret.
Oh, dude, yeah, bro. That's in Playa del Carmen. It's like the this correct. It's like an adventure park. It's a really cool park.
I know. It's I'm gonna send the link to myself. If this thing pops up. Let's go over to GJ for a second. See how we're holding that support? If you look at the 30-minute, how we ended up closing like that. This candle tells me, this is for you guys, to know, but this candle tells me the way we close, I know we close bearish, but it's a very weak body. Tells me that we're probably going to end up holding a support. Not definitely, but probably end up holding a support. But I think above 166 over here, psychological level right here, if we could get a close above that area, wait for the news to come out, I think we're going to have some nice buys here today. But we'll see. We could always like tap into this area, hold a resistance, and continue down from here as well. Guys, check out this video. This place looks awesome.
That's a hotel you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've never been there, but I've been there's a bunch of parks. There's one called Zenham. There's another one called Senses. There's another one. It's called Explore. So like I guess like every park has like its own theme.
Yeah, maybe. This one just looks so sick. Hold on,
Yeah.
let me log into Instagram. 341 313. Sick, right?
Yeah, it's
I would go there. It's all inclusive, but it's like a grand a night. It's typically not what you're going to an all inclusive for, but
I don't know. I don't know if it's a Granite Nine. I don't know. I mean, maybe you might be right.
I was looking into it a little bit, like poking in and getting some information about the hotel. They don't even mention what the hotel was. I had to look it up. Um, but from what I saw, it was it looked like a grand. Oh wow, this is Greece. Awesome. Yeah, what I was saying the other day in the group too is just this can be you guys going on a regular basis if you want. You just got to make it possible, and you know it's possible. You just got to work hard enough.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need to like taste it. It's good to go away every now and then and just feel what success will feel like. You gotta manifest it, and you also gotta like feel what it feels like. Because you guys could be writing your goals every single day, but you don't actually know how important it is or how good it feels to be in a place that you want to be on a regular basis or in a vacation home or something like that. That's why I always say, like, when it comes to managing your money, set aside 5 or 10% a month and put it in a play account, right? And that play account can be, typically I like to blow it at the end of every single month. I don't want to have any leftovers in that play account. I want to be able to, go out and this is what I've always had, just go out, take my wife out to dinner, blow the whole thing, go out to a club, go out to wherever I want to go on vacation. If I want to save it up over the next couple months, I could do that as well. And just use it and taste what it's gonna feel like when you guys are making a ton of money.
Yeah. You ever flown first class, bro?
Yeah, we did for our honeymoon.
How was that?
That's amazing. You
Yeah.
have free drinks. Obviously you're paying for them, but you're just getting loaded on the plane
Yeah.
and sitting
The
in
seats
the
are probably a
bed.
lot more comfortable.
What's up?
The seats are probably a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, not only that, but they just lay flat. You're like in a cubicle and you're just, relaxing. And I took a nap. I never sleep on a plane. I was able to take a nap. I watched that Ford versus Ferrari movie.
Yeah. Get a little taste of what's coming.
100%. Yeah, we went to Puerto Rico was awesome. It was a good trip.
You ever flown on a private jet?
No, not yet. Not yet.
That has to be an experience, right?
I give me 4 years. Give me 4 years, because right now my main goal is buying that house. I don't know if I told you guys. I told a couple of you guys. Yeah, that's my
mine's
main
too,
goal,
bro.
and
That's
that's all
mine.
I got my focus on. I got to buy that before my grandparents pass away. So like that's why I mean, we live very comfortably. We have a brand new Jeep, Grand Cherokee, brand new Chevy. Um, but it's not. I don't
When you
need a
said you
supercar or anything like that until I get that house.
when you buy a house, you mean like you want to buy it out straight out of cash, or you want to
Sorry, hard to hear you, Lewis.
I said when you say you want to buy a house, you want to buy it straight out cash.
Oh, pretty much, yeah. And I want
Yeah,
to be
right.
able to, because there's a sentimental factor to it, and I don't want to be overpaying for the house, but like, part of me feels like the family that ended up buying the house from the estate, they own a bunch of houses in that town of Rumson, and he was a big Wall Street guy, and he died, but his wife bought all these houses in Rumson for the family. They're I did a bunch of research into them. The not Murdochs, the
Green.
um
This is what green looks like, everyone. This is what he looks.
trying to think of their name. Shoot. Famous family in Rumson. It starts with an M. Part of me feels like they won't be selling it.
Is that mansion that
Yeah,
you've been on? Shit. How much you think that's worth?
probably 5 or 6 mil. And throw a Gatsby party at it. Have you guys out? Fly you guys out. Here, this is the house. Sheep's Run. Some.
That's the house you saving up for, bro?
Yeah, the property has a
Yeah.
name. It was built in 1915. This is the backyard. None of this was here before they owned it. They put a lot of this stuff in here. It was like a big backyard over here, and I used to mow the lawn on a tractor as a kid. So they put the pool in there. This is the front of the house here. It's the laundry room. This is the office.
Bro, you're gonna have to have a lot of kids to fill out all that space from.
That's the plan.
Look, that is a lot of space.
I know. I know. It's a big house, but it's like I said, it's a sentimental factor to it that it's worth it to me to bring this.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't really even in my family. Like my family doesn't have money like this, but my great grandmother, when my great grandfather died in '86, I never got to meet him. She was single for years, and then in '91, she met this sweet man, Lloyd Christensen, at a barbecue, and they just hit it off. I guess they were old. I think they were in their. She was in her early '80s, maybe late '70s at that point, and he was a little bit older, maybe a year or two older, and he was an engineer. And do you know where Monmouth University is, Lewis? Have you ever heard of Monmouth University?
Never.
Okay, so that's right in my hometown, but they're big with basketball. He was one of the reasons why it became university instead of college. It was Monmouth College first, and he's done a lot of big things. But she ended up moving in with him, and we used to go there like every Saturday for lunch when I was a kid. I used to mow the lawn, used to play there all the time. Slept there multiple times when we had like really bad storms up here.
What city is this, or what state is this?
What state?
Mm-hmm.
This is in Jersey.
Oh, this is in New Jersey.
This is in Rumson. If you go back to Google Earth. By the way, we're only doing this because we're just waiting for news. So this is Jersey. And you see this like island right here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is Rumson. This is a very wealthy island right over here. And let's see, this is Rumson Country Club. And this is Rumson Road. I'll be able to find it like right away.
You still have your driving business out there in Jersey?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. How's that going?
Great. Really, we get like 40 drives a day.
Wow.
Here it is.
Nice.
Wow, they updated the pictures and everything. It doesn't tell me what date it was taken, kind of like yesterday, but wow. Yeah, this is it. So I used to mow this lawn all the time. This is pretty cool. You rotate it.
You know the owners or what?
No, 2021 this was taken. Yeah, that's the house right there. So this house, like when it was first built, this house and this house was attached to it. And they detached them and made their own houses. This is cool. I've never seen like an aerial view of it. Yeah, this all used to be like right here used to just be like you know, all grass, and this was all grass. I had to cut all that. Just running around that house. Interesting. Feel like I'm like spying on their house. All right, so see why we don't take that sell just yet, right? We got that strong close, but it closed above that support here. This candle could just be creating a top wick, flipping bearish over here. I'm just gonna leave this in during news because barely risking anything, and it's a fake account. Well, let's see. I didn't even break down US 30 yet. You guys want me to break down US 30? No, you guys don't trade it.
You're in a long right now.
I am. Yeah. I'm about 132 pips in profit. We're holding some kind of a resistance right over here. What I could do is move my stop loss up to around like 33,500, somewhere around here. Yeah, I think I might do that. Let's go do that. I'm just trying to like really get used to holding runners here. Yeah.
Do you always close a certain percentage when you're at a 1-1 or 2-1?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, those are my rules. Like if I reach like a 1-to-1, depends on the session, the time, the setup, all that stuff. You know, you kind of got to be fluid with it. But you know, most of the time I'm trying to take off a percentage around like 1-to-1, or like the secure points, like the next TP, right? The next area where price could possibly reject, I'll take a piece off at that point. All right, so we got 8 minutes left. Carlos, so you're already with Dominion Markets? Carlos? It's pretty cool, the 3D.
So when you guys planning on having kids, man?
We're actually gonna be trying this week.
Oh shit.
Yes, sir.
Oh shit, bro.
Yes, sir. Yeah, really haven't told anyone yet.
Nice.
Just trying to keep it on the down low until everything is like set, clear, you know, healthy, all that stuff before we start making announcements.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A little guy or girl running around. How about yourself?
No, man. I don't know. Not for a while, bro.
Not for a while.
Yeah.
You think about taking the next step with relationship?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been looking at a couple of things.
Okay.
Yeah. For sure. Eyeing a couple different options, you know.
Yes, sir. One of the most important things that you guys could all do is you know, as far as like what we want to get accomplished as traders, as entrepreneurs, and having major success in life, one of the most important things is having the right people around you. So like if you find the right girl, find the right guy, that's gonna uplift you and believes in what you're doing and all that stuff, you know, those people can make you really successful, also hold you accountable, all that stuff. Those are the people that can really make you accountable. But if they're dragging you down, you know, you gotta just maybe look somewhere else.
Yeah. That's how I felt in my previous relationship.
Yeah. You gotta cut the ties if they don't believe in what you're doing. But I mean, it's so powerful once you do. So powerful. All right, so let's get us ready. Oh, gold's actually playing out over here. There we go. So like this trade, like if it was like before news, something like this, and it was counter trend like this, Lewis, I'd be looking for like this 1-to-1. I'd be looking at like either close the full thing. Hopefully you get the full thing at 1-to-1 before the news comes out. But you know, if news is coming out at 8:30, I'd probably be, if I got that 1-to-1, I'd just close the full thing. Because this could just be a liquidity grab before continuing up. Because I placed the wrong stop loss and everything, it didn't risk the 1,000 that I wanted to, but that's all right.
Yeah. What percentage would you cut if you would have taken that trade and it would have hit that support area? You would have closed the whole thing?
I
On that
didn't
paper-
understand the question. I'm sorry.
On that paper trade you have on right now, if it hit that line that you just drew,
Uh-huh.
you would have closed it full trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take my 1-to-1 and be out before the
Yeah.
news comes out. Again, you kind of want to. This is difficult for new traders to concept because they're pushing so hard for it every single day. But you want to have an idea of like, okay, how much percentage do I want per day? 1 to 2%. Like how can I grab that 1 to 2% per day and be out of the market and be good? If you get more, it's a bonus. Great. If you get less and you executed the trade and it's all about the like I said, the execution and closing the right way and executing the right way or entering the right way, then that's fine. If you made less than 1 or 2%, right? Because you can always stack on for the next time. But that's a very hard concept for newer traders to get because they start to get very greedy. But if you're not a greedy person and you're really starting to call successful trades, enter successful trades, and you're more so, like I said in this, focused more on the skill set every single day than making as much as we can every single day, then eventually like that could be your mindset. That's what you can start to get to. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So now we're starting to reject this area over here, right? The 1 hour candle is starting to flip bullish and news is about to come out. So I barely have anything on this, but you know, I want to see what we end up doing. And once like 829 comes around and we're still sitting above that area, then that might be an area where I want to just like close this full thing. But since I barely have anything going and I would have only been risking 1% on this anyway with $1,000, then what's it called? Then I could just let it go. Well, let's I want to get my magic keys ready. Okay, we're gonna leave this over here. Still sitting below that support, which is good. We got 1 minute left. I'll just leave that in there. Not looking for bad inflation. But if we get it, this trade will be successful. If you guys, you know, let's be a team right now. If you guys get the data before I do, please call it out. Like I said, anything below 5.1 or anything below 0.2, you're going to see this thing continue right back up. Anything above those two or big shock in the number, then this thing will continue right back down. All right, we got 13 seconds left. Guys all ready to go? Lenny, Tiffany, Carlos.
Sir.
What's up, Lenny?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Seeing some volatility. Okay, wow. Well, I was just stopped out. So this is so far good news. It seems like we got lower inflation. That's what I was talking about. This is a big point for CPI to continue up. And this thing should skyrocket if we get good inflation here. Oh, nice. Okay, CPI year over year was down. Beautiful. So I'm going to be okay. CPI month over month is down as well. So we've had 2 months in a row where we've had good. So March was good over here, and then we had core CPI stay the same as actually hit expectations lower than previous. So this is all good news here. So if we could get this closed above 2020, 2021, somewhere around here, then I'm looking to take this thing up today. Or if we could get some kind of a pullback, right, and price like creates a higher low here to continue up, I'm looking to take this thing up.
You're on mute.
Sorry, Lenny, were you just saying something?
No, I saw you talking. I thought you were on talking to us, but I seen the phone.
Yeah, no, I was just pointing something out on my story. All right, so trade the reaction to the news here. What I'm looking for is some kind of a support being held here on the 1 minute or the 5 minute. Now, if this isn't part of your plans, I wouldn't be doing it. Just kind of watch me do it. But right now, I want a clear stop loss so that I can be taking something up. I don't want to be caught trying to buy the high up here if we don't have a support. Like, where's my stop loss going to be here? Is it going to be down here? Like, where's that safe stop loss? You want to be able to create a stop loss to continue up. Keep in mind, it's only 8:33. It's only been 3 minutes left, or 3 minutes since the news came out, and you're gonna have plenty of volume to pump through, reacting to this from the stock market open and NYSE. You're gonna have 10 o'clock volume, 10:30 volume, 11 o'clock. You're gonna have volume throughout the entire day. So plenty of chance for this thing to pull back and then possibly continue right back up. So I'm looking to target 2032 somewhere up here. The 1 minute is pulling back over here. We're starting to see a little exhaustion. Like I said, if we can hold that support somewhere in here, I'd like to grab this thing up. It's also something I'm going to lower my risk on too. I'm thinking about this as we're passing the high of this candle right here. Oh. But I'd rather see an actual support being held here. Be more comfortable with something like that. See, the 5 minute hasn't even closed yet. I typically wait, the 5 minutes. Because if we could get a strong close over here. Oh, there we go. 5 minute just closed above, right? And look how big this 5 minute candle is. It's due for a pullback. Remember what we said, Carlos, what I said on your trade on the group Trello? Banks are looking to trap people up here, right? People are trying to buy over here. Yes, this can play out. You could maybe get a 1-to-1 if you put your stop loss under here, but that would be foolish. We're looking at the long term of our trading careers, not just trying to make money on this one given trade. So I'm looking for my setup, looking for the 5 minute to pull back here. Doesn't have to pull all the way back there. I just need to see a support held anywhere in this area. US 30 should be skyrocketing too. Look at this. Look at this. Let's go. Remember what I said this morning? If we get higher than expected inflation or lower than expected inflation over here, this thing should continue up. I'm almost 1,000 points up. I just hit 1,000 points on this trade. That's awesome. This is my biggest trade yet, I would say, pip wise, especially on US 30.
Nice, bro.
Appreciate it. All right, GJ is pulling back over here. You got that liquidity grab, pulled right back. Right, so we didn't end up holding that support. Like I said, it's going to be tough to trade in here. It is an orange zone for me, at least. It is an orange zone for me, at least. We create that low. Can we pull back, hold that resistance, and continue right back down? Or can we pull back over here? Or is this just a liquidity grab and GJ is going to continue right back up? But I'm more focused on gold right now. So I'm looking for some kind of exhaustion, and we could take this up later on today, or throughout today. See this thing pulling back a little bit? Beautiful. Lenny, who'd you see the Mario movie with?
Myself, I was watching streaming it online.
Oh, you found it online?
Yeah, there's a website, but it wasn't that great of it was a camera copy. It was
Sure.
okay.
Who took the buys? Anybody?
Thanks, Chuno.
What do I think about? See. higher low formed on the 1 minute here, potentially. Not comfortable with that in the middle of a range here, though. Rather see the actual pullback here in the 5 minute. It's due for one. You see, in the next 1 minute, this thing could very well. Actually, it's about to close. Yep, there you go. Close a much weaker bullish candle right there, almost like a doji. That's great news that inflation dropped too. So at this point, this candle may end up creating a top wick, flipping bearish, and continuing right back down. If we could get that support formed anywhere in here, we can retest that high. We're now creating a range right here, or it did create a range right here so far to continue up. But like I said, if prices shoots up without us, sometimes you get a move where it doesn't give you an entry, and that's okay. You got to be okay missing those trades. See, I'm looking at the 1 minute and see how it forms like this support right over here, but something tells me we're getting exhausted in this area. You're already starting to see it. Gonna exhaust in that area, trap some people trying to get greedy and buy right there, and it's gonna pull back over here, which will be great. And again, if it continues up from here, that's okay. I'm not looking to just squeeze that move out. Let's see US 30 for a sec. See, US 30 here in the 1 minute is starting to. It created that high and it's pulling back and creating that higher low here, which is nice. I'd rather see something like this here in the 5 minute on gold. There we go. See that exhaustion? Now, I have seen people take these pullbacks right over here because when gold pushes up that hard like that, a lot of times it'll retrace like 50% or at least back down to this area. For me, that's not part of my plan. I'm not looking to do that. I'm just looking to grab, the continuation buys to retest that high. I've grabbed them multiple times in my trading career, and that's all I'm looking for. And hopefully I can hold that as a runner. But a candle like this is due for some kind of a pullback. And if we could close like this, something like this in the next 3 minutes, or maybe over here, that's a strong body with a wick to fill. And most of the time with the fundamentals now, that wick will get filled today. 5 minute exhausting. Another 1 minute close, but we are kind of holding support right in this area so far. Hopefully we could get a close below that area.
Are you waiting for a pullback around 2020?
Yeah, I would like that. That'd be ideal, right? If we don't get it and it kind of pulls back into here and then continues out and we start to see that support, that's fine too. But I'd rather see it come down into this area here and then we pull right back up. Because then the 5 minute created that high, 15 minute, right? Created that high. Next 15 minute creates a bottom wick or something like that, and then continues back up. But the ideal thing is to see this trade on the 30 minute, right? And see the classic break and retest right here, where we break, create the high, pull back, at least get that bottom wick rejection on the 30 minute, and then we retest that high and continue up to 2032, which I definitely think will happen today. That makes sense, Lenny?
Yeah.
Here we go. This is what we want. A lot of people get so much FOMO when it creates that high up there, when you got to get excited for that. Sometimes it leaves without you and you get pissed. I get that. But when you get a high created like that and a strong candle like this, it's like, okay, great. It just created range for me to trade in. Right now, I have a high that I could retest. And from here, 2020. Why is that not working? There we go. From 2020 to that high is 74 pips now. Make sense? So the 15-minute just clearly closed above that area. If we can hold a support right here, we can place our stop loss below that support. Fill that wick. Easy.
You wait until half the candle, I mean, half the 15-minute, right?
What was that?
You wait until like 7 minutes for the 15-minute for it to take it.
Waiting for the 7 minutes. I'm sorry.
Like half of a 15-minute, like you want and come all the way down and then flip
See,
bearish.
Yeah, with that, I'd rather see that on the 30-minute. Like at this point, I would love to just see this 30-minute candle close above this area right here,
Yeah.
above that resistance, and then the
Yeah.
next one creates its bottom wick, and then I take that up. On the 15-minute, it gets a little dicey, right?
Mhm.
So on the 15-minute, what I would like to see is just like a support held right here, right? Doesn't matter if we get bearish candles closing or anything like that, and price could even like pull back into this range a little bit and then close right back above. And then that's our trade right there.
Mhm.
But, you know, knowing gold, a lot of times too, this candle is that high. This is about 50%. And a lot of times gold will probably correct 50% of that candle to then continue right back up. So it could get a deeper pullback into this range. And then this is our trade to continue up. But if we can hold this support, that's even better. And let's grab this buy up. Make sense?
Yep.
Now, if you want to use dynamic risk, what I could also see happening here is placing a stop loss down here. If this thing flips bullish, you got to place a wider stop loss in case price pulls back even more. But, you know, I could see that happening, entering like 0.25% or something like that, just to grab this move up if it happens. I could also see this 5-minute flipping bullish and closing bullish at 850 and then continuing up. But let's actually journal this for now. Remember how I said the weekly was setting up perfectly for gold to skyrocket the rest of the week?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what we could be getting here. Just categorize trades. It's you on 4/12/23. That's Wednesday. These just things are slow. Oh. US BI. Okay, so now looking over here, let me actually just do this really quick. The 15-minute here is flipping bullish right now. 1-minute candle just held a strong support. I might just enter dynamic risk right here. After that strong candle close. Yeah. I just entered like a 0.25% right here, like this buy right here. Because that was a strong 1-minute close. We could always pull back, and I'm fine with that because I barely risked anything. But what I'm really waiting for is that true support being held right over here on the 15-minute and continue up. I do just like the way this thing flip bullish. I just don't want to miss it. That makes sense?
Yeah.
But it's not strong enough trading this on the 1 minute for me to risk my full percentage. Really. Let's see the 4 hour.
And you're waiting for the 30 minutes to close.
Yeah, that's where I'll risk more percent, 1 to 2%.
Above the range.
Yeah. 4 hour. That's a strong 4 hour candle right there. Now remember, this 4 hour candle is going to be closing soon anyway. But what we've seen in the past couple months, do you guys remember, is that doesn't really matter. We've seen a couple news events where gold has skyrocketed exactly at 9 a.m. Usually I'm waiting for that pullback, but as of late, what I've been seeing is that price just skyrockets after that. Everyone journaling this, even if you're not in it? Lenny, how have you been doing with journaling?
I've been slacking on it.
Yeah. How do you think that's affecting your trading and the speed in which you learn?
I take notes.
You take notes? That's good.
Yeah, like I have a notepad right always right beside me, and I take notes on that.
Beautiful. So you have like a trading AAR going.
Yeah.
So that's
don't-
definitely speeding up your skill set and the pace in which you learn, for sure. Don't underestimate that at all.
Yeah. I go through the notes when I need, like, that it's easier for me to go instead of going through all these pictures and stuff like that. I just read the notes
Okay.
right beside me on my notepad.
But visually, to add on to that, visually seeing the move over and
Yeah.
over and over again, the setups over and over and over again, what you can be doing better on those. Like, you can ask Lim, I'm sure he's seeing a lot of progress, and I've seen it through his journals of the trades that he's taking. Because like you want to be able to increase your win rate as a scalper. Like that's super important. As a swing trader, obviously you want to be, grabbing, winning trades and guessing the correct trade. That's very important as well. But you could be successful with a 30% win rate, 40% win rate. Entry after strong. So it's very easy for someone to get greedy over here after seeing like that bullish candle close right there, then this bullish candle holding like the higher low, then that bullish candle to re-enter right now. But I'm not ready to do that until maybe we close above this area. But I'm more so waiting to enter my full risk with a 30-minute setup.
Also, I feel like all my journals are the same setups all the time.
What's up?
All my journals that I did before, it's competitive. The same thing, like break, retest. You know what I mean?
But would you say that there's also some differences in each one of those trades?
Yeah, the fake outs. Yeah.
Everything, even break and retest, like no trade is exactly the same as the other one. It's the same thing with like fingerprints. Like there's no same set of fingerprints in a human. So like it's the same thing with trading. Like there's so many different variations of that break and retest, so many different variations of that fake out, where you could be seeing all these different things, and eventually what you're doing is not so much looking at that exact setup, but also how can I enter earlier with more efficiently, but earlier, right? How can I make more money? How can I risk more? How can I scale into this trade? How can I, if it's a losing trade, how can I lose less? All those things super important.
Yeah, because all I look for now is the clean range on the left, right? Like I see some trades that you do, you don't like, even if it's choppy, you still take it.
Sometimes, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But
Like,
you know,
I'll-
I never used to.
yeah. See, those trades I wouldn't even look at.
But now, like, not only the trades that you're winning and losing that you're journaling and studying, but also the ones that you're missing, the ones that are like, oh damn, like that move just took off and I didn't enter it. How can I enter that moving forward? You know,
Yeah.
how can I execute on this? How can I make more money on this? So
If
we're
it,
pulling back over here. Like I said, I only risk 0.25%. 95% of your trades you should be managing risk on when it comes to losing trades, but there is that 5% chance, especially if your risk is less as I did, where you could keep this thing running. So I'm just gonna take a screenshot here, and this candle closed with no bottom wick, and my stop loss is safely below this 1 minute liquidity grab wick. So we could easily hold a support here and then continue this thing up. So I'm not gonna, just micromanage this 1 minute trade or this 0.25% trade risk here. 5 minute. So 5 minute. 8:55 a.m. Here's another screenshot of the 1 minute. Now I'm gonna put all my notes in the description section of this, so you guys will know what I'm doing instead of putting the bubbles here, because my main trade is gonna be taken based on the 1 hour or the higher time frames, and that's where I'll start to mark off the bubbles. Make sense? If this candle closes bullish here, it's the same exact thing as the 30-minute. Yes, we are ranging in here, right? But at the same time, we're creating what right here compared to here? Lenny, you know?
I support.
You were creating a support, but what kind of support?
Retracement.
High or low? Yeah, you can say retracement. But so far, if this candle closes that way or closes bullish right here, that means we're creating a higher low here, and you're starting to see that bullish pressure starting to push up. So that candle closed like a little doji right there, kind of bullish, but closed a doji, and we held support right here. So you're starting to see this bullish pressure here, and price could very well continue up from here.
Uh-huh.
So we got 3 minutes left for this 4-hour candle here to close. And would you say that this 4-hour candle is pretty strong? And can you see the next candle creating a bottom wick here, flipping bullish and continuing up? Now, if that's the case, I'll probably get stopped out if it creates a wick like that, but it could very well, with the amount of bullish pressure from the data, create like a very small bottom wick and then continue up from here. But that's a strong body and it created range for us to trade in. All right, so 2 minutes left for the hour to close. Five-minute. And again, we got a couple hints here. It doesn't mean it's definitely going to happen, but a couple hints here that this could very well be holding support. What is that hint? What's the last hint that we saw, Lenny?
Higher lower low and higher low.
Yeah, but also like the candle bodies. Break down the anatomy of that candle body.
Previous one has no wick at the bottom.
Exactly. So that's one hint that tells us that. Actually, the second hint. First one was the fact that this 5-minute candle had a liquidity grab and closed a strong bullish. Next one did close bearish, but it closed above that support with no bottom wick. So that's our second confluence. Third one is the fact that we created this bottom wick here, flip bullish over here, and now we're starting to engulf this candle, which tells me that we could very well get a bottom wick here formed and continue right back up from here. Make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now we just need to close above that resistance right over here for us to know that there's a good chance that we could continue up from here. 1 minute, 8:59 a.m. Take another picture of this 5-minute. Got about 17 seconds left. All right, 9 a.m. just came around. 4 hour just closed, right? Closed clearly above that resistance right there. So all we need to do is find a healthy support, which we may have right now with that lower time frame, but we just need to form that healthy support here or a healthy bottom wick on the 4 hour, and this thing most likely will continue to fill that wick and continue to retest that high. 1 hour candle just closed. Let me actually take screenshots of this. Pulling back fairly hard on the 4 hour, right into that support. So if I get stopped out there, that's fine because I barely risked anything. And I can get ready for the re-entry, which is going to be a healthy higher time frame setup. See how simple trading is when you can read candles? You don't need like indicators or anything like that. It's just basically waiting for candles to give you what you want. You risk your proper risk. You focus on making the right decisions. 30 minutes. So this is what I was talking about. I'm looking for, this is what I wanted, was the strong 30-minute candle close above this resistance here. A bottom wick formed on this 30-minute candle. If this 30-minute candle starts breaking its own highs right there, right, we could very well start placing our stop loss in the same spot that I did below that 1 minute liquidity grab, and then enter right there and take this thing up. And that wick fill will give you more than a 1-to-1. You guys look at the 1 minute, we're still holding that support. There we go. This thing's flipping bullish. 15-minute. It's our 5-minute. Here we're holding that right there. Can you see why that was a safe stop loss? Lewis, you with us? Carlos?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. What are you thinking about?
Oh man, I don't know. It's just
There's 30 pull back hard.
I think I'm gonna might wait for see if I can catch some GJs, maybe some sales, maybe. If
GJ
you
is
see able to
interesting.
break. Yeah,
I would again wait for that resistance to hold right there, and then you could take this thing down. This would be safer sells because now we're breaking that order block right here. And we could you got a clean move coming all the way down into here, but not only that, down into here.
yeah,
Right.
that's probably what I'm waiting for.
Okay.
I mean, gold does look really nice too, though. But I mean, I don't wanna jump into a trade that's kind of.
Yeah, gold might take a little bit. Gold is struggling to stay above that area right now, creating a higher low or a lower high, lower low right now, passing low that candle. That 1 minute candle did just engulf the previous bullish candle, but we are still holding this support, and we're creating these lower highs here. So again, like I said, if we could break above this area right there and close above that area, this thing will be continuing up. And in that case, 30-minute will be flipping bullish.
Yeah.
So we just held support so far. The weak bullish candle, but we're still holding that support. Now, if I risked more on this at this point, I'd probably be managing risk.
What did you enter right there?
Right here,
Mhm.
just gives the higher low. Most of the time, if we get news like that, get the high form like that, and a bullish candle close here in the 1 minute, we can at least retest this high right here.
Mm.
Right? So that's what I was looking for. So now this 1 minute candle did just close below that support. So most likely I'm going to get stopped out on here, but that's fine. You're not sweating this because you're barely risking anything. If we could somehow turn around here and hold that support, that'd be awesome, but highly unlikely. Just said the higher time frames, this 4 hour candle wants to create that bottom wick. And it's going to be another 4 hours before this candle ends up closing. So the first half of it is going to be most of the time it's going to be bearish like this and just kind of waiting. Now my stop loss might be safe, maybe not. But you know, if it wants to hold that support right there, that'd be awesome. And it will start to flip bullish and continue up. But this is a strong enough 1 hour candle close, right? Same thing with a 4 hour, but strong enough 1 hour candle close where I know that price can at least pull back anywhere into this area, hold support, and then continue right back up. That would be ideal. Well, ideal is actually holding support at this area, right? Starting to reject that area and starting to flip soon. But if not, that's okay. What's interesting is on the 1 minute, you do have this 5 minute 50 EMA over here that price is kind of starting to come into and maybe holding support at. See, we keep like holding support right in here. These candles are getting a little bit weaker, these bearish candles. This candle closed right at that area, didn't close below, closed right at that area. Then you get the bullish candle, weak bearish candle, close right up here. Now, if this candle could close bullish somewhere around here, then that would be good. But if not, it's probably going to pull back even more. But this thing does want to continue up. 9 a.m. volume, 9:30 volume should continue this thing up at some point. But if not, we're okay with that. Adjust my support over here. You're also looking over here. This whole thing right here, if you see to the left, previous resistance over here to the left, now this is a support. So at any point, it could be coming into this area right here and rejecting it to continue right back up. But if not, and it breaks below, like I said, it could continue back down here to then continue back up. Let me actually take a few screenshots. Might be stopped out here pretty soon. Nine. Yeah. All right, stopped out. So 9:10. A minute on 10 a.m. stop. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. So that was 42 Pips. 42 pips. This at 849. So remember what I said about the 4 hour. The 4 hour pullback, right? Like recently, what we've been seeing is not a lot of time, like most of the time, actually, I wouldn't say most of the time, but recently, what we've been seeing is at 9 a.m., when that 4 hour candle opens up, it'll just like shoot right up. Like we'll get a nice bullish candle push over here, and a lot of times it won't create that bottom wick, especially after economic data comes out. But right now, it is pulling back hard, and like I said, we could be getting a fake out of this area here. If we can hold support there, I could see this continuing back up, but we're not going to marry that, right? You see the 5 minute. But this is that bottom wick on the 4 hour, most likely, that it's creating. And what I said it could be doing before. 15 minute. The hard pullback. I know US 30 is pulling back hard too. Also, keep in mind, like fundamentally and technically, it's gonna take a lot for gold to like break and stay above 2000, as we've seen over here. We know that it does have some more room to go, because if you look at the daily over here, it can pull anywhere into this area right here and then start to reject, as we've seen right there and right there. So it really does have room to come up into 2075 up here and then reject. But right now we are sitting at like a previous resistance, and the high that it created, we just tapped into that area here, and now we're starting to reject those candle body highs so far, starting to reject 2020. So does it have enough juice to break above that area? I think it does, because of the data and the fact that we closed this way. Clearly above this area with a wick to fill, it just needs to create that bottom wick. If this thing can start to flip over there and the 30 minute, the 1 hour is holding a support, then we can take this thing up later on. Make sense, guys? If you look at the
Sure.
5 minute, sorry about that, Lewis, what was that?
No, I was saying it makes sense.
If you look at the 5 minute here, it's already starting to pull back. 5 minute gave us that bearish candle close, but no bottom wick. Liquidity grab, bullish close. Doesn't mean I'm going to enter just yet. Right? I would like to see like a 15-minute bullish close. Or I would like to see this 15-minute close bullish here, and at least the next one closing bullish. Because if it closes like this, bearish, but still above that area, it's still closed bearish. So I need to see a bullish candle close in my direction before I take this, especially on the 15-minute. But ideally, I would like to see like an impulse volume push right here. If this thing could close like a weak bearish candle, bottom wick forms past the high of the previous candle, we might be able to take this thing up like that. But if not, you can wait for the 30-minute bullish close. 30-minute bullish close. Like that. Next one creates a bottom wick, past the high, and continues up from there. Capiche?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, guys. Any questions over here? Look at that. Can you guys understand why I took that trade and why I kept my risk low on that?
Yeah, definitely, bro.
Okay. Because again, like this thing, we could have gotten this liquidity grab right here, and this thing could have skyrocketed, and I would have been in it. And I could have very easily scaled in if we got like a close above here, then I could possibly scale in and continue this thing up. But we're not getting that. All right, guys, this was recorded. It's going to be on YouTube not too long from now. If you have any questions, let me know. Go back, journal this trade, or not journal this trade, but go back and look at how you could have caught this, or how I could have maybe managed earlier, anything like that. Look at other pairs to see what you guys could have gotten. And I will see you guys at 1 p.m. Eastern for our breakdown session and going through trades and all that stuff. All right.
All right, bro.
All right, guys. Great job showing up 2 days in a row. I will see you guys at 1 p.m.
Later, man.
Yes.